My name is Steven Kampmann, and I teach the Dreams course. The principal goal of the Dreams course is for each dreamer to embrace being on the path of individuation. It's the unique journey that each of us make in trying to get back to the self. And I say self, I mean capital S-E-L-F. It's amazing the number of friends or people that I know or don't know, how they're scared of dreams, or they can't, they think if they're going to reveal something horrible about themselves and they don't want people to know, or they just don't have time for them because they're weird. The most common word I ever hear about people say about their dreams is, "Oh, I dreamt a dream last night and it was so weird." And I go, "Well, that's part of who you are, so get ready to meet your weirdness." You got to remember, you're the star director and creator of your dream.
Yeah.
You created that. That when you wake up in the morning, that came from you.
Yeah. You were saying people think it's weird,
Yeah. like maybe it's weird not paying attention to it.
Totally. Yeah.
Like if someone is coming in the night where you've been flying and doing interesting things, there's no time barriers, and you want to ignore that.
Yeah.
Well,
so it's almost like you're at the sort of existential buffet in the sky, and you see someone go walk, like there's dreams, they could put some dreams on their plate and they pass it. And you're like, what are you thinking?
They put, in other words, they've got everything else on their plate.
Yeah.
But when it came to the dream bowl, whatever was in that,
yeah,
they looked at this.
So it looks weird.
Which was shimmering in gold, by the way. And it was kind of a cake jello meat thing. And they looked at it, but it was you couldn't take your eyes off it. And they went, "Nope.
Yeah.
Let's get the jello." What is that? There's a wonderful quote by Joseph Campbell in his book, Reflections on the Art of Living, a Joseph Campbell companion. The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. The goal of the hero trip down to the jewel point is to find those levels of the psyche that open and open and open and finally open to the mystery of yourself, being Buddha consciousness or the Christ. That's the journey. And that says it perfectly for what the course is about. It's about the journey. Make no mistake about it. We are spiritual beings first, and then material creatures second. But look, here on earth, the body ego is strong and continuously fights the spirit, making the spirit, very oddly, the underdog. Why the Dreams course? Because dreams are a way of the spirit connecting with us, as well as the body connecting to us. Right now, most lives are led with the conscious mind only and no connection to the unconscious mind. And when you dream and you make dreams part of your consciousness, you are building a bridge from the conscious mind to the unconscious mind. And this begins the journey of becoming holistic with both your conscious and your unconscious mind. You can come to read and communicate with your dreams and also communicating with your higher self and have messages. It's just remarkable and amazing, and even more amazing is how most everybody ignores their dream life. Like it doesn't count. They're too busy to take a moment out and think about it. The dream life is communicating to you everything you need to know about what's going on in you, including the fact that there have been books written on the medical aspect of dreams, where dreams are warning us of different problems we may have in our body or an organ that's in trouble. There are many, many levels of dreams and the way they communicate. There's nothing they can't communicate. So that's why we call it the Dreams course.
Now, what if you're someone who feels like, I have dreams, but I don't necessarily remember them all the time? Is that a hurdle?
Yeah, that's a hurdle. I think that in the course, the one thing you have to do that's constant that I can't compromise on is you have to dream. You have to remember them. My students all have long histories of dreaming. But I'll say this to you, if you're listening and you're not a dreamer right now, you can become one very easily by doing the things we're talking about. Honor it in yourself. At night before you go to sleep, speak to it. Say to, I want to remember you. I haven't been remember you. Help me to remember your dreams. You have to activate it. But for me in the course right now, if you're not already there, that's the one, forget checking me out. I won't take you.
Okay. In your dreams, will you get symbols, or can you interpret dreams as giving you information about those voices in yourself?
So when I speak about the language of dreams, it's the brain communicating to the conscious mind through imagery. And the way I approach that language, and it makes it easier, is that every aspect of a dream, every character, figure, location is part of you. So that when you meet someone different or you don't know, that's a part of yourself that you don't know. And that makes it more powerful. The language just comes from the understanding that when certain parts of us show up, you understand what that means. They're signposts, and your job is to read the signpost. Basically, overall, you're reading the emotional content that the dream is trying to send you. If you look at the kind of your life as kind of a mirror that dropped on the floor and it's fragmented, because being a spirit coming into earth form is going to splinter you. It's the extreme. It's too extreme. It's like it's like one of the missions, Apollo missions, or one of those earlier ones, coming back into the atmosphere. They burn up. So when the spirit comes in, it's challenged, and it can be rough going. That can create problems. So
it's almost like we spend our whole lives trying to remember the feeling of being a whole pure being.
I love that, because that's really like saying it's like our whole life wanting to be at the self.
Yeah.
The self had it when it came in.
Right.
And it's lost its way through being in earthly form. And when you get the spirit back, you're a warrior on the earth.
Yeah.
That's just true. You every day give time over to the self. It counts. You're getting instructions from the self. You're recognizing the self. And by skipping it every day, or I'll wait till I'm on vacation to feel the beauty of the self, you're missing the whole point. There's no reason why in every single day, no matter what happens to you, you can't find a place where you can take time out and say, I'm thinking of you, the self. I'm honoring you. How am I honoring you today? What am I doing that's celebrating you? You can do that in a car, doesn't matter.
Or feeding it, I would say.
Feeding it.
Beyond celebrating it, it's feeding it. It's taking care of it in the same way that you would nurture a plant or nurture a friend or a relationship.
Yeah, that's a good way of seeing it. And that's what you're doing. So each day I stand on the back porch with our amazing view of the sea, and in gratitude breathe deeply, allowing the breaths to become slower and easier and rhythmic. And then I say my morning prayer. Thank you, universe, for giving me earthly tests to strengthen my spiritual animus and resolve, so I may search for and find, recognize and exercise, perhaps even liberate the true yearnings of the authentic self, and by doing so tap into the boundless energy that resurrects my spirit and makes me ultimately available to the needs of others. Here's the beauty. That's mine. That's what I wrote. That's what I wanted to say to my own animus and my own self. And you can write your own. the one that will resonate with you, so you're not having to copy mine. The Course isn't about copying what I do. The Course is being inspired by maybe what I do, and then in your own way say the same thing or some version of it. That's the Course. It's individuated.
So then you're in that sense, you would think of a individuated human being as someone who has both sides of anima and animus.
Completely, the balance between the anima and the animus is all the difference between being productive and happy and not being. It's all the difference. The ratio, if your animus and your female is low, you'll never be empowered. You always be the victim. And if your animus is strong, you don't apologize for anything. You're confident. You're moving forward. You're making changes. That's the exciting point. So you want to have, so the people I work with, the women I discuss, if that is a part of a problem they have, we work on it, and we work on it by memorizing the invitation, not just speaking it to me. The next session has to be memorized.
And then obviously in men, a man can be weak in or deficient in anima.
Yeah, and that's the majority of men, because it's if you go from your over to your anima, you look like you're weak or you're a sissy or you're gay or you're whatever it is. So the culture keeps the anima from men having it. Men can be fantastic people, they can be good looking, they can be a lot of things, but if they don't have their anima, they don't have much creativity in them. Creativity is what I think of anima for men, and for women I think of the animus in terms of a strong male part of themselves, like a warrior within them in the female body. And so then you're all female and you're all warrior.
Right.
You're expanding.
So every single human being on earth can identify with the feeling of having an empowered anima in them, and having an empowered animus in them.
Well, you mentioned the word earlier, nurtured.
Yeah.
If it's missing in a dreamer, then it has to be nurtured. My satisfaction comes in getting things done.
The world is rough, and the external world is rough enough.
Yeah.
Why would I extend that to with my inner life?
It's completely right.
If the external world is going to be this place of obstacles, then not that I shouldn't expect to find inner obstacles, but I would like to make that road be as smooth as possible. The conversation and the relationship I'm having with my inner self.
I think the more you support it, the easier that journey becomes, because they're wanting to work with you. You're not doing it.
Right. So that's where, with dreams in particular, sometimes I think I'm like excited before bed because I'm like, what am I going to see?